All right. All right. Good morning, everybody. It's Monday morning. Nice fresh start to the week. Can't wait to get going. Tons of excitement. Tons of excitement happening today. Maybe. We hope. I'm just saying that to sound like a rah rah. But you never know until the market opens if we're going to have a ton of excitement or not. Some people like to think they can predict all that, and they're just full of it. Um, Unless they have inside information. But there's a couple things out here today that look fairly decent. We'll see if we get a shot on them. Don't know if it's going to happen or not. The uh, the spy, the spy. Okay, the spy is really motivating up here. We got a high of 339.08 back in February, just pre COVID. And we are so close. We're at 334. We went up to 335.70 a little bit earlier this morning. But we're about 334, 330, yeah, about 335 right now. So 339.08 is not very far off in the distance. Um, if we had an automatic braking system, it would probably be hitting the brake pedal for us. Get it? Anyway, but that's something. That's really something. This is almost a full comeback from the COVID. I think if we crack that 339.08 number, I think the SPY is going to accelerate like crazy, and then we'd probably have a massive pullback tomorrow. But we got to get $4, out of today to get there, just to get there. So I don't know what that's going to bring, if it will or not. Who knows? Tough to say. Um, but hopefully it happens. But we've had a lot of positive up days in a row. And one small red day here, but on July 27th we had green and a small red, and then green, 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 green. So that's a lot of green in a row. Um, it's almost too much to hope for to have more green like that in a row without having some pullbacks. But you know what? Pullbacks are good. They're healthy, and hopefully this will all work out, and our economy will be 100% back on track at that point. Here was our trigger line on the SPY. It was at 320. I believe that's what it was. No, 321.32. I'm sorry. And it crossed that, and we are now trading at 334, 335. So there you go. Trigger line's always working, man. Always working. Trigger line constantly works. And this is how you get to have a 73-4 record. I don't understand why there are not thousands of people here trading like this. It's stress free, or almost stress free, but it's pretty much stress free. Rarely is there a fail. Almost everything is successful. Um, I mean, we're trading at what here? 98 maybe percent. I didn't do the math, but 98.5% of success. And this is all documented. I mean, this stuff, I talk about this stuff before the market opens, what ones to look at. And when the market opens, um, then, that's grading, that grades my choices. And so far, my choices have been 73-4. Hard to do. Hard to do. It doesn't come like just, you know, We're like, oh, let's see what that is. Yeah, okay, I'll say that one. It doesn't work that way. It takes a lot of in-depth analysis every morning. So there's a lot that goes into this. Let me just check one thing here. We got a new kid on the block here, just popped up. MOXC. First we look, see if we got news. Yeah, there's some news, letter of intent. Yeah, so potential merger. Little ways to go yet in the legalese stuff with that happening. But, the news came out at 9 o'clock and went from $1.26 to $1.65 in 1 minute. Boop, just like that. That's all it takes. That's all it takes with these traders out here. One little blurb of news, man. The excitement happens. But let's see if there's anything that's realistic that makes sense in a number here to trade this thing. Because this is one small piece of, until it becomes real. Because just a letter of intent, until it becomes real, it's almost an insignificant piece of news. So let's see, $1.03. There we go. $1.63. $1.63. Yes, okay. So let's draw just a little reminder on there. New kid on the block at we'll say at $1.60. So that's where it popped up to. So if it kind of pops back down to that, $1.60 definitely has some validity to it. Yeah, if it pops down to that, then it might be an opportunity to get back in. So there you have that. That was just something that popped up on the screen. Okay, so that we have. So often, very, very often, that $1.60 number has been a big number in this stock's history. But that's just like a sidebar thing right there. I didn't do any analysis on it. It's just a possibility. So, good to keep it on a thumbnail. See if it hits that $1.60 number. And, it doesn't move a ton generally in 1 day. It's hard pressed really to get much out of it. Once in a while you get a little pop out of it. Like here you had from $1.12 up to $2.62. That was a nice little move. But generally the moves are like this one here. This was it opened at 92 cents, went as high as $1.67, which, listen, don't get me wrong, that's a really nice move. But it's not the type of stock generally that's going to have a rocket type, acceleration to it. You had a nice day here, opened at $1.95, and the high was $5.10. That's a rocket acceleration day right there. But hey, listen, we'll see what happens. Right now it's trading at $1.99. So, okay, so let's get into this here a little bit. The SPY, like we talked about, the SPY is moving up nicely. We're waiting for it to hit the trigger line, which is the high before the COVID. Sounds like a movie. The high before the COVID. All right. We're going to start with the HOTH. HOTH. They have news and they are involved in three guesses. No, not even three. One guess. COVID. Yes, COVID. So they've got a pretty low float, 8 million shares. We've got two areas here on this one. Once in a while, we do pop up with two areas. So we've got 292 or 393. It's a full dollar in between. So it all depends on how this stock is behaving. Right now, it's behaving more like it wants to get to the 292 than the 393. But sometimes that's where it ends up. Like it ends up with, two potential lines because there's equal amounts of data to support each one. So that's when you actually do a little on the fly trading. You wait to see what the market's doing, and then you pick one and you go with it. So we've got two spots. I hate to be that guy who does that to you, but it is what the market has shown me. So I can't change that, and I'm not going to pick one over the other without seeing how the market behaves today. And all right, so it's COVID based. It has news. It's got a low float. It's got two potential trigger lines, which we won't know which one is really active until the market opens. And that's going to be like, at the bell, it could be where it crosses up and above the 393, or it hits the 292 and pops back up. Or it might be different by then. It may be above both, or it may be below both. By then, who knows? There's no way to tell. But we'll find out. The volume's decent. Definitely a decent volume. So, hands down, one to keep on the watch list for sure. Make a little thumbnail, keep it off to the side, and I just have to put something on my chart here, my trading chart. I have the analysis software from TOA, and I trade with Lightspeed. Okay, so I had to put the secondary line on there. I forgot to put it on both, actually. Wake up. Okay, so next we're gonna go to E. Maybe not. Maybe we are. Maybe we're not. I don't know. Where is it? ET. Phone home. There we go. All right. ETON. ETON. Okay. This is right near an area of confluence, which would be the 19th of August, according to the chart, or there and abouts, somewhere in there, give or take, literally 3-4 days. But we're on the 10th right now, so definitely one to keep an eye on. Around the 15th, around this 708 range. If it hits that, that's what we call an area of confluence. You've got a trend line coming this way, a trend line coming this way, and you got your trigger line up here. When it hits, in between, in the middle of all of those, and the stock jumps over 708, chances are it's going to ride up nicely. So, but it also has an opportunity to ride up nicely today. So, if it's been a high of 1020 today, it's got a float of 14 million shares, tiny bit high, tiny bit, but still plenty of room to roam, and the volume's okay. You know, I mean, definitely is going to need more volume if it wants to, play in the playground today. But good possibility because it it has news, so that's a good thing. I don't even know what the news is, and it's got a, let me see, something about an FDA decision and allergic conjunctivitis. All right, so it says it's trading up 37%. Pre-market ahead of FDA decision. Okay. So the FDA is going to come out with an announcement about this conjunctivitis thing, whatever it is. I don't even know. So that could give it a little fuel for the morning, knowing that there's an announcement coming, So that definitely could give it some legs this morning. So, but we want it to trigger at around 708, and that could be anywhere in, however it fits your trading style, from I'd say 704 to 712, 703 to 713, somewhere in that ballpark, wherever you're comfortable. So that's Eaton, yeah, 708. All right, so now, next up on the hit list, Hi Ho. The other, let's see, where is it here? Where did it go? Okay, so in the pre-market, this thing hit our target. It hit our target, and it went from 406 all the way up to 480. So that's pretty exciting. 406 to 480. Float of only 2.4 million and zero short float, which is interesting. Yeah, so this thing in the pre-market really rocketed up. Now it's come down since, and that was, let's see, yeah, now it's down at about 327. So we need this thing to get some legs and get up to around 406. There's really no news on this, no specific news. There's no symbol specific news. It's in the pre-market of different stocks that are moving, but there's no real catalyst type news. Let me just check one other thing. There's one area I didn't check for this, just to be sure. See if there's anything here. No, nothing. So there's nothing pushing it that way. So it's going to have to get a ways up there to get back to that 408 number. got a trend line that's excessively steep. That's never a good thing. So we'll see. And that's the trend line here. It actually flattens out because it's only like a 1 minute chart. And this is, 6 months worth. So it flattens it out. So we ignore that one. Yeah, the trend line is excessively deep. So who knows? Who knows what the deal's going to be there. But definitely one we can keep an eye on for sure. Because if, the 406 is a real number. Okay, and then we have got to find the next one. Where is it? It's in here. There it is. TRVN. This one pops up like an old friend. Every 6 months or so, TRVN gets back in play. It's almost like, if you bought it in a bad position, just hold on to it for a year because eventually it's going to pop up for you. You can get out of it. Like the people that bought it down here at $1.34. Over here it popped up as high as $3.48 or whatever, $3.55. So if you held it long enough, you'd make some money. Speaking of that, around that number, 368 is our trigger line on that. It just recently was hanging and tugging on that trigger line, and it's dropped underneath it. It's got a channel it's trading in, as we can see right here. Fairly wide channel for now, but still channel nonetheless. We can't bend the channels to make them fit what we would like to see. But still, all in all, this one, if it has the volume, which it could move. The only thing is, over a period of time now, the float on this thing has exploded into 105 million shares. So generally, a stock with that many shares will move pretty slowly. Is that going to be the case? We'll see. We'll see. I mean, it has had its moments where it's, exploded up nicely. And it's odd for a stock with that high of a float, but yeah, listen, strange things happen in this market. We have an area of confluence in September and another one in December. So who knows what's going to happen there? Hey, who knows what's going to happen at 9:35? I don't even, nobody knows any of that. So TRVN, it's losing a little bit of steam right now as we speak, as you can see. We're about 30 cents under almost 30 cents under the number to where we would like to be. But that's why we have the trigger lines. We don't touch it until it actually hits the trigger line to show us that it has regained its strength. Okay, that's what we look for. We look for signals and signs and things to put ourselves in a position to make a good trade. We don't want to just willy-nilly, I love that. We just don't want to willy-nilly go out there and go, oh, that looks good, and just, put $1,000 or $10,000 or whatever your number is on it, and then the thing makes a right turn and falls down and, ends up in the basement. You're laying there with it all battered and bruised, you don't want that. I mean, I would assume you don't want that. I know, that's for sure. But, you just have to put yourself in a position where you can be successful. None of this is foolproof. I mean, we're 73 and 4, right? Where'd the 4 come from? The 4 came from a failure. It came from a failure. We did a lot of analysis, set it up the way we thought we should set it up, and when the time came to buy it, it went the other way. Now, clearly, does it happen a lot? No. It's like, every, I don't know, 1 in 20 or 1 in 18 or whatever that number would be right now. So for every 18 positive trades, we have one failed trade. But we still have a failed trade. So nothing is foolproof. Nothing. The idea is if you take a loss, you take the loss, you get out of the loss as quickly as you can and protect your investment. Because, listen, you'll have like here, like you take out the 4 losing trades with the 73 positive trades, right? So that brings you down to 68 positive trades. All right, and 4 losing trades. And let's just assume you make or lose $100 on each trade, just to make the math easy. That means you made $6,800, or you made $7,300 in the positive column and $400 in the negative column, which obviously gives you $6,800. But that's remarkable to be in that position, and that's where you should strive to be. Putting yourself in a position to make good decisions, to be successful. It's not 100%. Nothing is. But this is pretty close. All right, like 98 something, 98 point something percent. So, but the market's going to open in about 2.5 minutes. So I hope you have everything all set up. Have all your, your buy orders ready. Have all your charts ready. All your information on them. Everything you're going to need. Have your lines drawn. Have your alerts set. All those prep things you got to do. Some of these people tell you, yeah, you just wake up and light a cigar in your bathrobe and click a few buttons and you'll make $10,000 for the day and you go back to bed. Nope. That might happen 1 out of, 50 days, or not even 1 out of 300 days. But TRVN is trying to leave the gate without us here. Making a move. Yep. Real pop move that was. Wow. 43 to 63 in a minute. So market's going to be open in 1 minute and 15 seconds. HOTH getting a little bit of action there. But don't get all squirrely just because TRVN is making a little bit of a move. Don't get that FOMO. Wait for it to hit the trigger line. All right, 30 seconds to the bell. What's it going to be today? Monday. Will it be Blue Monday? Will it be Happy Monday? We don't know. Nobody really knows yet. Well, I'm sure there's about 5 or 6 people that know, but they probably run the entire world. Well, it's craziness theory stuff, But very possible. There we go. And the bell is rung. Okay. buy order in right now for TRVN at 368. Just got filled at 368. And we are going to see what happens. Is the 368 going to be a pop up or pop down number? TRVN trigger. Boom. Let's see what it does here. A lot of indecision right there on TRVN. It's about as far as I'd like to see this go. Other than that, I'll be out, I would think. We'll see though. Nothing else moving at the moment. TRVN in 350s, looking to hit 360s again. Try and get back in the game a little bit. HIHO is kind of very odd looking pattern for HIHO. Very odd looking pattern. But not really doing much at the moment. HOTH not doing much at the moment. And ETON not really doing much at the moment either. So the only game in town right now, or closest to that, is TRVN. TRVN needs to get over 356 as the current goal. Well, mini goals you have to get past. A little bit of a messy pattern, but not too horrible normally. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe we can end up with a 3-bar play here on this one, or a 4-bar play. That would be nice. Like this candle, if it finishes around the 350 mark, or it could explode up, or the next candle. If this finishes around the 350 mark, The next candle, if it's green, it could really take off. But depends how far this red one goes that we're working on right now, how far down it goes. ETON. Making a move up now. Didn't quite get down to the trigger point. Right, so this is definitely not a 3-bar play. That's for sure. HOTH at 325. Looking to get to 393 before it becomes something with real conviction. HIHO looking to get to 406, but that's got to show us 406 before we say, okay, let's spend money on it. Well, looks like that's a wrap for TRVN. HIHO has really died down in volume horrifically, terribly. HOTH falling right now. ETON had a nice run up. Now it's coming back down. So we just still TRVN, the only game in town at the moment. No, let's see. No. Well, hoping for a little more action today than this, but you know what? It still is what it is. You can't change it. Cannot change it. Not going to go out chasing crazy stocks. Just not going to do it. TRVN trying to get back up and gain some steam. TRVN trying to pick it back up again. Trying. Like I had said earlier, it's a slow mover because it's 105 million float. It's high. That's high. Takes a while to turn this big old ship around. It's not like driving a speedboat, you know. It's like driving a Queen Mary. Got to start your turn a mile in advance. Again, setting up a fairly nice pattern here. But last time it did that, the pattern didn't come true. So, I mean, it's not a perfect pattern, but it's not a bad one. All right. Well, what I did was I leveraged my way out of that one when it got down to where was it? 323. I bought an identical amount of shares that I bought at 368. So I really minimized my loss a lot on that one. I don't feel like messing around with it anymore. It takes too long for it to move. So that's going to go down as a loss for now, unless this thing turns around and hits the trigger line again, which is very rare. Might even be a red day. Whoa, be the first red day since April. If it is, I don't know. Nothing seems to be moving here. So even like quality circuit breakers aren't really doing their thing. Let's see. We got one circuit breaker on Rita, pretty high price stock. That was $120 a share. LITB had one going up, and then it opened up and came straight back down. So that wasn't any fun for anyone, I'm sure. Kodak trying to get back to its glory from a few days ago or a week ago or whatever that was, when it got up to $60. But that is one that I cautioned everyone about. Don't get too excited. It got a loan from the government, but once all the dust settles, it's still a loan from the government, $175 million. So, you know, we have a trigger line in this one of like somewhere around $5, and that's where you want to look. You know, it was at 60 like 2 weeks ago for a day, for a minute, a hot minute, got up to 60. It opened up today at around 850, something like that. Let me see. Opened at 891, and it is now trading at 1043, 1041. But who knows what it's going to do today? But it's been falling ever since, for the most part. You know, it's having a little surge today. I mean, we had started up at 1460, dropped all the way down to 801. I mean, you know, we're at 60, then we're at 45, then at 36, then at 28, then at 18, then 17, 14, 8. You know? That's how you can't get excited with those stupid things when they happen like that. Because they're just a fool's game. They really are. Just a fool's game. So Kodak has resumed out of its halt. It's going down. So it halted up at 1091. It is now at 1022. Let's see. Yeah. Nothing of any true interest here. Nothing in the surging attention getters. Not one stock showing up on that screener. Not one. We got a little VWAP surge on some stuff here. Let's see. What do we got here? We got tops, $1.41, $1.56. They got 12 gajillion shares. It's just a company waiting to go out of business. Now GE making a little bit of a move here from 646 up to 663. That's a monster move for GE. Again, a billion shares. They get 8,753,289,000 shares. That's insane. Ford, another one, making a little bit of a move. So apparently it's big cap day. Dow's up 232, 235 now, 236. I can't keep up with it. So apparently it's big cap day. Small caps are getting nothing. Nothing. Oh, look at that. That would have been my break even to get out right there on TRVN. Son of a gun. But I had no guarantee it was going to get there. It didn't seem like it was going to. But yeah, if I held a little longer, if I, should I, could I, would I? Yeah. But no, didn't do it. But that's okay. I was able to, and this is a good example of things. After, you don't panic when the stock drops. You just don't. I could think of maybe 3 times in the last 15 years that a stock dropped so badly that you lost mostly everything in it. That's 3 times out of thousands and thousands and thousands of stocks. So you don't panic. The stock starts to drop. You wait for it to find its balance point at the bottom. All right? When it gets its balance point, and it's not something you jump on immediately, you watch a couple of times. Comes up, comes down, comes up, comes down, but always comes down to roughly around the same place where you see this white line here on this chart. It was 323. It came down to 323 here. Went a little past it here at 319. But 323, 323, 323. Okay, that's my magic number, 323. And that's where I got in, right around this candle here, 323. I'd originally gotten in at 368. I was hoping to get out at 345, which would have been, dead even. I wouldn't have made anything nor lost anything. But instead, I got out at 335. So it was a minimal loss. Really, really minimized it. We went from 368 to 323. Big loss. 335, minimal loss, very minimal. All right, because I had an equal amount of shares purchased at 368 and at 323. So my Mendoza line was going to be 345. Missed it by a dime. It did get back there though, but once it started getting into this red drop again, I said, okay, that's enough, because if it drops again, I'll have to buy another group of shares underneath that, and I don't know where that bottom is going to be. So it's a lot safer when you know where the bottom is, and at 323, you buy it, get the most you think you're going to get out of it, and then you move on to trade somewhere else, and you haven't lost a fortune. You know, that was a very, very, very small loss for me. So I can live with that. Feels weird having a loss, though. It's been a long time. Very long time. Maybe we should crack open a bottle of something. So all of a sudden, HIHO makes this big jump from 317 up to 335. We had 14,000 shares, then 1,500, then 1,000, and then 511. So this thing is like, it's doing some weird stuff. It has zero short float, so that definitely has something to do with it. But it is looking to perhaps break, the high of the pre-market. I don't know if it's going to be able to do that, but like it looks like it's trying to get up there, but it just doesn't have enough volume. It's a shame, man. I was really hoping this one would develop more volume as the day went on. And it moves so slowly that I keep thinking it's in a circuit breaker. That's how bad the volume is. But ATRVN coming back down. Coming back down. See? That's why I'm happy. I took what I could get. I got out of it. And life is good. Absolutely, positively, life is good. And I'm tired. I'm very sleepy. Well, my swing trades are doing well, so I'm happy about that. So it's not a total loss for today. So HOTH, we were waiting for 393. We're never going to get there. ETON, we're waiting on 708. Maybe. HIHO, we needed 406 with volume. I don't think we're going to get either. And TRVN, we needed 368, which we got, and it's never gotten over that 368. So we're going to go a few more minutes, see what happens, and then probably call it a day. No sense sitting around wasting time when there's nothing happening. Oh, what's this? HUSA, one of my favorites. Let's see. We had a line on this one a way back for 304, I think. No, 302. Yeah, it's trading at $1.70 something. No, $1.60. So that is an attention getter, and it's an attention getter because it ran from 149 all the way up to 175. But it did not hit our number. Yeah, well, that didn't happen. UAP surge scanner. Yeah. Too many shares, 167 million. It's a lot. Not as much as GE, man. GE has so many shares. What a mess. What a mess of a company GE is. They are so big. The tail has no idea what the head's doing. And oh my God, the left and the right have no idea. Whatever, statement you want to use that kind of means that, left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing, blah, blah, blah. That's GE. They're just such a big, fat mess. Like, they're just fat. They're just slow and dumb. And not saying that everybody who's fat is dumb, because I'm fat. So shut up right now. Don't even start. But they're just fat. Like, there's too much. There's too many people at each level, and it's just too many real estate holdings, too many lines of items that they sell, and I mean, just come on, look at the shares. 8,753,289,000. That is insane. It's insane. And they're only trading right now at 16 million shares with 8,753,000,000 shares. So it's just nuts. I'd never, ever trade that. Never. Never, 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 never. See Zest. They sometimes have a quick pop. They've been doing well lately. Notice that? Look at that. Running right up, man. But they got under the 50 here, which is not that good. You can't have that. See? Got under the 50. That always gives me cause for concern. Anytime a stock gets under the 50, I worry about it. Tops. Let's see what's Tops doing. So Tops went from 9 cents to $2.30 for a 1,600% gap. 1,600. What's the news that did that? Shares of Top Ships begin trading this morning on reverse split basis. Okay. All right. That makes sense. Knew it had to be something like that. TRVN still floating around. MOXC looking to reach $1.60. Got down to 162. What kind of volume do we have here? Yeah, it's not bad. Probably if I would have noticed it sooner, I probably would have jumped in at the 162. But I did not notice it. I might get to the 160. Let's see. This might be interesting. Big drop right now. Big drop. So let's see, 160, 162 to 160. We're right now about 164. Let's go to MOXC. Let's see. See if I can. See if I can maybe make something out of this day. I don't know. We'll see. MOXC, number with some significance throughout a period of extended period of time. So that's good. Almost a full year. $1.60 is a very popular number for this one. See if it does anything here. We're right at the number. Let's see. Okay, looks like I'm in at $1.60. Let's see. Let's see what this brings us. Gonna have a very short leash on this one. Currently holding MOXC at $1.60. Waiting to see if it's going to make a move up or a move down. Was in TRVN at 368, which was the trigger number, which it hit and then immediately dropped. Dropped down to 323. Jumped back in with an even amount of shares at 323. Wrote it back up to 335. Minimized the loss on that one significantly. Waiting on Eaton to get to 708, but doesn't look like that's going to happen. HOTH at 393, not going to happen. And we had some hope for HIHO at 406, definitely not going to happen. So it was a fairly quiet day today, but MOXC, it hit the trigger line and popped up, so at least that takes us out of a red day. It becomes an even day because we had one that was red and one that was green, so we don't have a red day. It's odd to have a red trade though. It's the first one since May. Waiting for MOXC to maybe do something. We'll see. We will see what happens here. Looks like action's heating up a little bit, at least on it anyway. Can't stay in debt. It's fooling around. All right, that's my song for the day. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll sing more if you want me to. Just request. Just put in your request with a $10 bill. I'll sing all day for you. Okay, still floating around the trigger number, MOXC. Did get up to 166 from the 160. So that's a legit positive trade. I personally chose to hold it a little longer just to see if I can get a little more out of it. I don't know if I can or not. It's really kind of flattened out here at the trigger line. No, we have maximum to go to like 10:30, and then that's it. Nothing happens with this thing by 10:30. Probably gonna call it a day. Got way too many things on my schedule to sit around and wait for an extra 2 or 3 cents. But we'll see. Hey, listen, maybe it happens, man. Maybe it just does a nice run up right about here. That'd be nice. Oh yeah, they're still with the letter of intent. Forgot about this one. I looked at this morning too. Signed a letter of intent. Again, it's not that phenomenal of news because just a letter of intent. There are no I's dotted or T's crossed on any kind of final decision or of anything with this. So those things can fall apart in a second. Or, they go real well too. So we'll see. Yeah, it's the kind of market that if you have insomnia, just plan on sleeping during the day. Just get on here, purchase a stock, and doze off. You can sleep for 3 hours, wake up, it'll be within probably 1% of what paid for it. Incredible, man. So slow, so sluggish. Yeah, they should have this kind of market for people in insomnia at night. You know, just doze right off. I'm glad I got a TRVN when I did. It's down to 304 now. Hard drop. Hard drop in the last 20 minutes or so. Really hard drop. So I'm pretty happy about that. It's not always about how much you make. It's about how much you don't lose. Man, no truer words could be spoken when it comes to the market. You have to work on not losing until you make something. I don't know if you're following that, but the idea is you need to protect your balance in your account until the opportunity comes up to make some money. And it's not always going to be there every day. You're not going to make as much as you want to make every single day. But the idea is to keep your account balance protected so when the opportunities do come, you have enough in your account to make some money and improve your account. You're not playing catch up. If you lost $1,000 on Monday and then tomorrow you trade on Tuesday and you make 600, you've still lost $400. And then on Wednesday, maybe you make 400. That's taking you all week just to get back to even. Now the next trade you make, if it's a loser, you're back in a losing position. If it's a winner, then you're okay, fine. But this is sorry, pause for a second because MOXC did a little jump there. Not a jump, a little trip, a little stumble. Um, but that's the idea. You save, save your balance so you can buy and sell stocks like you need to. Like, for instance, when I got into TRVN at 368, after a while I realized it was going to be a loser. So now I had to wait for it to get down to the next support level, which was 323. And when I got to 323, I bought an equal amount of shares that I did at 368, which then put my break-even number at 345. I didn't get out of 345, I got out of 335 because I didn't think it was going to make it to 345. But so my point is I really minimized the hell out of my loss. It could have been a fairly big loss, but instead it turned out to be a small loss. It was a 10-cent loss. So it's just common sense, but it's common sense that it's really hard to develop when you're in an environment that has to do with trading and money and fast-paced action, because really when you get right down to it, most people will compare this the most closest thing to gambling that there is. So it's a tough environment to use common sense or to even learn common sense until you've wiped yourself out once or twice. And nobody wants to do that. That's crazy, man. Why would you want to do that? You want to use common sense. You want to stick to things that make sense. Oh, by the way, if anybody's enjoying this, please just leave a comment. All right. Or if you have any questions on any stocks, go ahead and leave a comment. I'll be glad to answer them for you as best I can. But listen, right now, I'm 74 and 5. I'm okay with that. I think most people would be okay with that. I don't understand why there isn't like 10,000 people on this channel watching this, because there's nobody else, there's no one else out there who can talk about being 74 and 5. There just isn't. I mean, there's some guys out there who talk about, their amazing record, and usually it equates out to about a, 65 to 68% mark. But I'm in the 90s. I've been in the 90s for the last couple of years. And, sometimes what happens is you just learn how to see the matrix. Like, I had done it long enough to where all of a sudden everything just became clear. And it just boils down to a couple of things in analysis and a few trigger points throughout the day, and there you have it. But you don't learn it overnight. Nobody does. At least I don't think so anyway. And again, if there's anybody trading at a 74 and 5 record, they're not broadcasting it. But I want to, I found something really good, and I'll share it. But you got to get on, you got to like the channel, you have to like what you see, what you hear, so I can keep bringing the content to you. Makes it a lot easier if I have a lot more followers. It truly does, because most of these Um, sites are based off of, you know, the amount of followers you have. So, it's the popularity contest, I guess. The look at me contest. So this thing must know that I want to get out of here at 10:30 because it's dropping on me, which will push me to get out. Definitely push me to get the hell out of Dodge on this one. I've got 5 seconds to the next candle. All right. So that's a wrap for me. Gonna call it a day. The action is so boring. I think I think I might have fallen asleep 3 or 4 times. I don't know. But it's very boring action. So how about I'll call it a day. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. I hope something about your day today is awesome that you will remember for the rest of your life. That would be a nice thing. And we'll see you back here tomorrow morning for more of this. So we had an even Steven day, but we went now 74 and 5 total. Even day. Yeah, is what it is. So, hey, you know what? I had a little bit of practice. How's that? All right. So, everybody have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.